Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Naeva Flory, and I have been a part of the Million Mom Movement Council for a little over 4 years now, but I've really adopted the Million Mom Movement 9 years ago when I first joined Purium and was so inspired by what the Million Mom Movement represented. And I'm here today joined by my council member, Sherry Packard, and she is in Canada. And we also have Taz Ferreira and Carmela Velarde, who are not here today. And one of the beautiful things about this business is that we can create our own schedules. We get to travel, we get to do things, and we also get to take time off when we got to care for a loved one. And so sometimes we have to step back and take care of our families or do other things. And so that's the beautiful thing about this business is that we are able to create our life by design and choose when we need to work or when we can work. And I am so grateful for Purium and this incredible opportunity coming into my life and to be able to share with you today about Be Energetics. We're going to be talking all about Be Energetics and all the amazing benefits that it has. So Be Energetics is an incredible blend formulated by Purium, and it can really help your adrenals. So I'm curious if you feel like you have adrenal fatigue or adrenal burnout, drop me a 2 in the comments because I'd love to know. I think most of us have adrenal fatigue in some sense. Because it really starts with if we're somebody that drinks a lot of coffee or energy drinks or energy enhancers, it stresses out our adrenals. And if we lived a really stressed out life, if we're always, rushing to get places and feeling stressed and driving in traffic, then our adrenals are being affected. And so it's really important that we do something to support our adrenals naturally. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we want to help you experience the boundless energy with Be Energetic. It's a natural blend of invigorating superfoods without the ephedrine or the caffeine that causes adrenal burnout. So we want to help you boost vitality, strengthen your immune system, and support your adrenal health. And this combination is really incredible blend of herbs. So we're going to discover the transformative power of the robust adrenal function today, revitalizing your energy reserves, and how to enhance the response to life's challenges, because life's challenges come up all the time, let's face it. And Be Energetic is the key to unlock the vibrant, energetic life you've always desired. So if you feel like you wake up tired or worn out, or you don't have enough energy to get you through the day and you need that cup of coffee, it's likely that you actually have adrenal burnout and all you need is some Be Energetics in your life. So I'm so grateful for this. And if you used Be Energetic in your daily life, then drop a 3 below or a B. Drop us a B below for Be Energetic. And I'd love to know who is currently using this in their daily life, because this is something that I use. And my family uses it. My son who's in football uses it. Like, this is just an incredible way to help support our adrenals. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to my council member, Sherry, and she's going to share an in the news piece with us.
Thank you, Naeva. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me see. Okay. Whoop. Not cooperating. Second.
I can see your screen.
Can see it? Okay. I just can't get to my previous article that I wanted to start with, but we can start with this one and maybe you can pull up the other one for me, Naeva, if I can't get to it. Okay, so what's the buzz about bee pollen's possible health benefits? So I've known about bee pollen for a really long time. I know that it has some incredible benefits, and this article highlights that very well. So bee pollen is cropping up in everything from food items to skincare products, and of course, holistic remedies. And I love how it explains exactly the process that happens from bee, right, to these products that appear on the shelves that contain bee pollen. So the worker bees collect the pollen on their legs and bodies and mix it with saliva glands, secretion, or nectar and place it in basket-like structures on their hind legs to take back to the hive. And then beekeepers collect it by keeping a thick comb at the entrance of hives. When the bees pass through it, it knocks the pollen off their legs and into a collection bin, and the bees go collect more pollen. So this can be plant source and geographic region definitely affects the composition of the pollen. So depending on where it's being sourced, it can have different compositions, right? Different percentages of compositions. But the bee pollen is commonly consumed for nutrition and traditionally has been used in Chinese medicine and taken for various ailments. It's been touted as being helpful to stimulate appetite. It can help increase it can help treat obesity, help with hay fever or allergic rhinitis. It improves immunity, stamina, and athletic performance. And it can also help assist with menstrual disorders and gastrointestinal problems. So topically, it can also be used to help treat conditions like eczema and or diaper rash. Then it goes on to talk a little bit about how it can help stimulate the immune system. So there's lots of promising studies right now that point to how it can help not only stimulate the immune system, but also promote wound healing if put directly onto the skin. And some of the ways that people can use bee pollen is they can add it to smoothies or top it on your yogurt or oatmeal, even cereals or salads. And sometimes, I mean, it's even good to just put a little bit in your mouth. Sometimes you can put it right under your tongue and let it dissolve that way. So there's many different uses for it, many different ways that we can use it. Today, we're going to focus, of course, on how bee pollen, one of the main ingredients in our bee energetic, helped so much with increasing energy. And I know that there's so many different ways that so many different things that people reach for in terms of wanting to increase their energy. But unfortunately, so many of those ways are very temporary, right? And kind of give a false boost of energy only to then experience a very sharp crash. So bee pollen is one of the ways that are more natural and that helps to create more of a sustained energy. So that is our first article. Sort of have this like thing in the way. One second. Let's see. Can move it over. Sorry, guys. Aha. All right. And our second article. So this article speaks to the adrenals because we know that when the body gets chronically stressed, that it can start to affect our adrenals. And while allopathic medicine doesn't really recognize adrenal fatigue as being an actual medical diagnosis, in integrative medicine and functional medicine, they definitely do, and they are diagnosing it more and more every single day. So let's learn a little bit more about our adrenal glands. So the adrenals are also known as suprarenal glands, and they're small triangular shaped glands located on top of both of the kidneys. Adrenal glands produce hormones that help regulate your metabolism, your immune system, the blood pressure, and response to stress, of course, and other essential functions as well. Adrenal glands are composed of two parts. So there's the cortex, and then there's the medulla. And each of these two parts are responsible for different functionings throughout the body. So when adrenal glands can't produce enough hormones, this can lead to adrenal insufficiency. It can also lead to certain adrenal diseases. Adrenal glands may develop nodules. That's the diseases we're talking about that can be benign or malignant depending on the severity. So the adrenal glands, if we look at the two forms of adrenal glands, okay, there's the cortex and the medulla. So it's the medulla specifically that's responsible for producing the stress hormones, right, including adrenaline. When we look at, we go down here to, okay, so the types of hormones that are produced to help combat stress. The first one is cortisol. So I think we've all heard of cortisol, and cortisol, it's a hormone that's produced by the zona fasciculata that plays several important roles in the body. This hormone also controls our sleep and wake cycle, and it's released during times of stress to help your body get an energy boost and better handle an emergency situation. And if we go down here, the second hormone that's produced by the cortex is called the aldosterone. So aldosterone is a hormone that helps to regulate the blood pH by controlling the levels of electrolyte in the blood. So what this means and why this is so important to the adrenal functioning and the overall functioning of our bodies is because the more pH our blood is, that means the less acidic our blood is. And if the less acidic our blood is, that means the less inflammation we have circulating throughout our bodies. And of course, we know that too much inflammation in the body can cause a whole slew of cascading effects, including, interfering with the functioning of the adrenal glands and helping to really reduce those stress levels, help us get the right amount of sleep, and so many other things. So this article is great. It goes into a whole lot of detail. Of course, like always, we're always going to post the links for you so you can go in and really take a look at these articles at length. It does mention some adrenal, some of the health issues that you could be experiencing with adrenal glands, through adrenal glands, overactive. And then there's also okay, so what I really wanted to highlight here was the excess of cortisol and why that's an issue. So cortisol is responsible in essence for that fight or flight mode that our bodies get into when we are facing stressful situations. Now, the body is amazing, right? Our body equips us with everything that we need, including if we were, say, one day, I don't know, facing a bear attack, right? Well, then our body, the adrenal gland, would produce an excess amount of these hormones to help give us that energy and that quickness, that sharpness to be able to handle ourselves in that situation, be able to, right, fight off the bear in essence. And the problem is that our bodies are not designed to be in this fight or flight mode every single day. And when our bodies are chronically stressed, when we are experiencing chronic stress in our everyday life, then that means that our bodies are in a constant state of fight or flight mode. And that means that not only are we getting this constant boost of energy, and we would think that would be a good thing, but it's actually not in this case because it's keeping your body in this heightened state, which is affecting your sleep. Right? If it's giving us that boost in order to fight off an attack of some sort, it's never getting back to a calm level and the hormone levels are never rebalancing. And so that is when we start to see issues like our adrenal glands becoming overworked and fatigued. I think that is it. So we can put both of these articles into the chat. And I will send it back to you, Nayeva.
Thank you so much, Sherry. So much great information about our adrenal glands and bee pollen and how amazing bee pollen is and how it's collected. I learn so much every single time when we get to host these presentations as well, because we actually get to dive in even more to all the ingredients and everything that is in these incredible superfood supplements. And I'm so excited to just share with you all a little bit more about what we have to offer you here and what the tools are that Purium offers. Our in the news piece is always incredible because we try to pull sometimes out of the field from articles that are out there, but we also want to bring to you some of the things that Purium has at your fingertips as tools that you can use to learn about these superfood blends, as well as to share with others out there in your community to inspire them. So how to be energetic. So we live in a world of energy seekers, just like Sherry just said. We can't always just be living where we're stressed out and always, we're just always overwhelmed. And these are really taxing our adrenals. So energy drinks have displaced popular soda brands as America's beverage of choice. In addition, millions of people gladly fork over $3 to $5 for sugary coffee drinks at high-end establishments and cafes. Even fast food chains are beginning to cash in on America's obsession of stimulating beverages. This raises a very critical question. Why? Why are we unable to get through even just the first hour of our day after a sleep cycle that is intended by nature to renew our energy? And we all know that if we're taking our apothecary every night, then we are hopefully waking up feeling rested and getting that REM sleep. And it's important to be able to wake up fully energized. I know that if I move my body and do yoga and do things that energize me, I actually don't need that cup of coffee. I actually been starting my day with Kamut blend, which has been a new thing because I used to just do power shake and aminos in the morning, and now I'm doing aminos and Kamut blend in the morning to really alkalize my blood and help me have that natural energy without um without coffee. I haven't done coffee in quite some time. So this raises the really critical question of why are we needing to stimulate first thing in the morning? Why are we unable to get even through the first hour of the day after a sleep cycle? So the answer is simple. We are devoid of proper sleep and we need some adrenal support. Our adrenals are burnt out. And so if we're not getting proper sleep and our adrenals are burnt out, then we're waking up feeling groggy and tired and needing that cup of coffee, right? So I know this is true for most people across the country. I mean, it's just become a habit for most. And I can say for myself, I do love the taste of coffee, but I don't like the way it makes me feel. So if you have that same feeling around coffee, drop me a 4 in the comments. And it's just, I don't like having the jitters. I don't like the way it makes me feel. And having Be Energetic on hand really is helpful. So adrenal support in general is something that we don't talk about enough. It's nature's way of helping us deal with stress, lack of sleep, fear, the need for sudden bursts of energy on command. Unfortunately, for contemporary society, our bodies were not designed to endure the continuous sleep deprivation, poor diet, and stress in the form of fear that seems to drive modern politics, marketing, and relationships. As a result, we are unable to cope with these high levels of anxiety, pressure, and the constant worry, and our adrenal glands will be depleted. Top athletes around the world have unlocked the secret to restoring adrenal energy using the unique combination of herbs, whole foods, and extracts. When used properly, these synergistically combined proprietary formula can support our body's reserve energy tank and enable you to deal with ever increasing levels of stress that our lives create. So, what is Be Energetic? Purium's Be Energetic contains nature's most energizing foods without ephedrine or added caffeine. This powerful blend of plant powers can help build up immune systems and support adrenal glands while giving you the sustained energy you really need as a busy bee. We truly believe that you can break your addiction to these artificially stimulating, debilitating, and addictive beverages. And I believe this is important because these seemingly harmless beverages contribute to rapid aging, irritability, and a significant tax on your monthly finances, right? Let's face it, if we're spending $5 to $10 a day on a drink, then it's definitely going to tax our bank account in the long run. And so even if you can afford to pay the $5 a day for a drink, then you definitely can afford to Be Energetic and to add in some superfoods to your daily life, because we have some amazing programs to help support you in your daily life as well as to reboot your adrenals with Be Energetic. So how it all works: natural energy levels are supported by a healthy adrenal system, aka our fight or flight fuel tank. Reduced adrenal effectiveness leads to a reliance upon stimulants like caffeine and sugar, and select ingredients in Be Energetic support a healthy adrenal response to fatigue. So, Be Energetic contains adaptogenic ingredients that work synergistically to support sustained energy, encouraging healthy immune and adrenal health. So, here's how the ingredients may help. So there's white American ginseng. And for those of you who were on Dave's call the other day, then you already got to go over this with him. But white American ginseng, this is an adaptogenic herb that contains uh, ginsenosides, and that supports the stress control. And it's white American ginseng is also a really great energizer. It gives you natural energy. So it's known to energize your cells and help like wake you up. And so this is really great, and it's an adaptogenic herb. And then bee pollen is sustainably sourced. Bee pollen is actually recognized as a medical powerhouse by the German Federal Board to help. And why? Bee pollen's high antioxidant capacity can support your immune system and how your body responds to stress. I talked about stress earlier and how stress can really contribute to adrenal fatigue. And Sherry also talked about that fight or flight. Our bodies are not designed to constantly be in that fight or flight. And let's be honest, we wake up stressed. We wake up, we're getting ready, we're running for the door. For those of us who are working, you know, a normal job out there or taking our kids to school or whatever it is, we're waking up and having to go, 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 get in the traffic, you know, all the things. And it's stressing us out first thing in the morning, which is not good for us. So being able to support our adrenals is really important. So that way our cells are getting fueled and our adrenals are being supported. And spirulina, the blue-green spirulina that is nutrient rich. And if you didn't know, spirulina is actually known as nature's multivitamin, and it supplies us with a pure vegan protein. It's 100% assimilated in our body. So like we talk about proteins a lot and how proteins don't absorb. Well, spirulina is one of the ones that absorb into our body naturally. And then it has B12 as well, which is really important. And a lot of people have said that it's hard to get vitamin B12. So it's good to know that it's in spirulina, and spirulina is actually in our B Energetics blend. And then the last ingredient is cordyceps. This is a traditional Chinese medicine that supports endurance and helps increase oxygen intake and making it a great support for fatigue. It's so powerful that once confused Olympic judge panel, they suspected that some athletes may have been using illegal drugs because their performance was so good. So really, they were just using cordyceps. Isn't that incredible, you guys? Like cordyceps are so powerful at energizing us. And so that combination together is what is in B Energetics and can really help support us. So some of the benefits is it may help increase our energy, our strength, our endurance, our vitality. It may reduce stress created by unhealthy adrenal responses. It can help support healthy and rapid adrenal response to stress. It helps to replace energy stimulants like caffeine or ephedrine extracts. It can also improve mental clarity and circulation. So this one thing added into your life can really help you in so many ways. And like Dave suggested the other day on his call, you take this for a month and then you take a 3-month break. So you take it approximately 4 times a year. And that can really just help support you. So it's not something you have to take every single day all year long. You can choose when you're going to take it, but it's recommended that you take it for a month. You take it for 30 days, and then you can take a 3-month break and start again 3 months later. So mark it on your calendar or set yourself a reminder for what times a year you're going to include this in your life. But it's very helpful. We know that the holidays are super stressful. So if you haven't been using this Be Energetic yet, we definitely recommend adding it into your life because we know how life is going to get over the next couple months. So for the extra energy boost, our community loves to turn to Be Energetics to kickstart their day. And here are some testimonials. So this is from Yvette. I was able to seamlessly transition from my conventional adrenal support product to Be Energetic on my quest to a healthier me. My functional medicine doctor gave me 2 thumbs up for me to try it out. So people are using this, they're having great results, and they're loving it, and doctors are recommending it. So it's really great to have people that are recommending these incredible superfood blends to their community. And we're going to share this article in our Million Mom Movement official group on Facebook. So I'm not going to go through all of those, but you can read them on your own, or you can screenshot them and share them on your social media. The next one I wanted to share is our product fact sheet. So did you know that we have a product fact sheet for every single product that we have at Purium? It's incredible, and you can find it in boards. So Be Energetic, this talks all about what it is. I just went all over all of this, so I'm not going to read it to you, but I just want to show you the tools that we have that are available for you so that way you can feel confident in sharing the information that we have with your community, because that's what we're here to do, is really help support our community and having the tools to share out far and wide. And so Be Energetic is such an incredible support. And I do have a guest on here that I'm going to see if we can have her come on. And so Unity, I'm going to ask you to unmute. Are you here?
Yes, did I unmute? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Wonderful. Well, tell us how you use Be Energetic for yourself. And I know you're a doctor, so let
My
us know
gosh.
if you're using it for your clients. And Unity is en
Mute
route right
me.
now, but I'd love to hear from you about how you use this in your life.
Sorry, you have to mute me. The alarm's going off. One moment.
Life as an entrepreneur. So Unity is actually en route right now to go to a family get together. And so she is taking the time to come on here with us and share how she uses this for herself, how her family uses it, as well as how she uses it with her clients. Are you ready, Unity?
All right. Sorry, car alarm went off. Okay, so I first started using it because of my partner Gary, and we're gonna turn the camera to him in a second. But we used to use it just before like an intense yoga class because he does really intense yoga, or when I teach African dance, and it makes a huge difference. Like if I take it, by the end of class, I'm not wiped out and exhausted. And I'll let him tell you about his experience with the intense yoga. But then when I heard that you can actually take it every day as an adrenal support, I started doing that about 3 weeks ago. And I'm using so many of the superfoods. I can't swear that it's that, but boy, I'm just telling you that I feel more stable and energetic and clear-headed than I did a few weeks ago. And so I appreciate that it can be used for just like an acute setting and getting immediate response, and then also getting just like the sustained adrenal healing. So let's see what Gary's got to say. Are you ready, Gary?
Oh. Hi, friends. So, yeah, around Be Energetic. So that's one of my favorite Purium products, just because when, as Unity was saying, that I would do yoga, I would find myself getting tired maybe about 40 minutes in. And when I like to do a longer session, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, if I take 3 of those at the beginning of the session, then I have a lot more energy all the way through, even 2 hours, than if I didn't take it. After 40 minutes, I'm starting to really feel exhausted. So, as I learned that it can nourish the adrenals, that gives me a lot deeper understanding as well. And so, yeah, it's a really good one. They formulated a very nice product there. And
you said that you used all the different ingredients separately, but together you're just experiencing a really different level of benefit.
Appears to be a synergistic effect using it all together. And yeah, so that one I can really support and get behind for sure. It's endorse that one. Yeah, that's a good one. I think folks will really appreciate that. All right, that's my input. Time to go help mom.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, we're visiting his mom.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And Unity, are you using this for your clients for their adrenal support? Is it something that you started to include into your practice as well?
You know what? I think I'm going to start to. I mentioned it for the first time a couple weeks ago because I like to try things out on myself pretty thoroughly first. I've got most of my folks on the ULT. And Naeva, I know you mentioned that the Be Energetics is like your most common add-on because, like you said, most of us are adrenally fatigued. So I'm giving it, I think I'm pretty much comfortable with my own trial. And so that's why I mentioned it once. And thanks for putting it into my awareness again. I think I'm ready to start doing that, mentioning it more.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for hopping on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So you can hear it right from our friends that have been using it. Gary's been using it for years. This is one of his favorite products. I can attest that he's been a great customer with using that for years and recently transitioned to a brand partner with Unity. And, they've been using it for themselves first and foremost. And then, of course, the next step is sharing it with those that we love. And like Unity mentioned, this is a really popular add-on to our ultimate lifestyle transformation, because as we're transforming our healthy life and switching into really transitioning our lifestyle, the next step is to then be able to support our adrenals. and to reduce the stress. And it really can help when you're taking the apothecary in the evening and the biomedic and you're getting that deep sleep and you're detoxing your organs, and then you're having the Be Energetic to support your adrenals for that first month. It can really help reset your energy levels. And for people that are cutting coffee out of their daily routine, so to say, which many of us have done in the past, or maybe we're still doing that, the Be Energetic can really support us. Having the aminos and the Be Energetic in the morning in combination can really help to give you that protein energy boost, as well as really supporting your adrenals and give you that natural energy boost from the white American ginseng and the bee pollen and the spirulina and the cordyceps in combination can really help you to get that morning routine under control and start changing those habits. Because here we're all about creating healthy habits and helping you to have a better understanding of the things that we have access to and how it can support us on a day-to-day lifestyle change. So I want to pass it back to Sherry. Have you been using this at all for your sons? I know they're athletes, and I'm just curious if you use this in your day-to-day life.
So actually I have, but more so for myself. So 2 years ago when I found Purium, well, actually, first let me say that as a holistic practitioner, right? Clients coming to me, complaining of lack of energy, being tired, being overly stressed, looking for ways to manage that, right, is super common. And while it's easy for me to recognize those signs in other people, sometimes it's harder for us to recognize it within ourselves, right? When we're really getting to that point of stressing our adrenals, of being chronically stressed. And 2 years ago, that's exactly where I was personally. So when I found Purium, I was in the process of going through a divorce. I was building my business. I was grieving the loss of my nephew who had just passed away that same year. There was a whole lot of stressful situations that had happened, really, some of them all at the same time and some back to back, right? And I really didn't realize just how much all of that had taken its toll on my health until I shared some of that with Tess. And Tess was the one who suggested that I add the energetic to my ultimate lifestyle transformation plus immune that I was already going to order as my first trial pack. And so I did without hesitation. She explained to me a little bit. Once I saw the ingredients, I mean, I recognized all of those ingredients as being ingredients that I myself have recommended to clients before for some of those same reasons: stress, fatigue, right? Lack of energy. And so I understood immediately that if all of these ingredients are really great and help support those issues individually, I can only imagine that synergistically, it would have even more potent effect, especially when we look at, of course, our superfoods, right? Our spirulina compared to spirulina that you find in a store, our white American ginseng compared to, the ginseng that you can find in a store. And so once I started taking it, I took it for the full 30 days, I believe there's enough for. And so in that time, I noticed a huge difference. I hadn't realized just how exhausted I was and how my nerves were shot, right? From just being so stressed out all the time. And I definitely believed that I had adrenal fatigue, without a doubt. Looking back, that's exactly what was happening. And that Be Energetic definitely made a world of a difference. I started sleeping better, and I noticed that I had that sustainable energy throughout my day, because up until that point, by 1 p.m., I was crashing every single day. It didn't matter whether I felt like I had slept well the night before or not. By 1 p.m., I was having a hard time keeping my eyes open. And then again, by 8 p.m., my kids were still awake and I was falling asleep on the couch. So those were the first things that I saw start to turn around as soon as I, was taking it on a daily basis. And so ever since then, I routinely order Be Energetic once a season. So I kind of time it with the change of a season, and that's when I know to put one into my order. And I take a full dose of it throughout a month or so, and then wait, and then the next season I order it again, because it just makes sense, right? It's great prevention, and it's a definite way that we can help support our adrenals, because let's face it, stress happens, right? And we can do all of those lifestyle tips to help manage it. We can move our bodies more, we can go out in nature, we can meditate, we can do yoga. All of these things are great, but at the end of the day, our bodies need more. They need that they need that nutritional support from within, right? Inside out. So it only makes sense to add all of these. And now, having listened to Dave speak on Wednesday, and now Naeva listening to what you were saying about Be Energetic and looking through the articles, well, now I'm excited to add it in for my kids because yes, they are athletes. And especially my older son, he's 13, and we just went through tryout season, right? So they are on the ice several days out of the week, and it's grueling and it's tense and they're stressed. Like my older son, I saw it in him over the last month or so. Like he is biting his nails and he's not sleeping as well, and he's telling me that he's waking again throughout the night. And so I'm really drawing that link to possibly, you know, that he is just feeling an overload of stress right now, and the demands on his body are higher than usual. And so I'm definitely going to be ordering it for him as well. And I'm excited to see the, you know, the changes that will take place for him.
Thank you so much for sharing. Wow, such potent stories, and I really appreciate you coming on and sharing that with us. And I think Unity actually wanted to share a little bit more. So, Unity, do you want to come back on and share?
Yeah, thanks, Naiva. Sherry, that's so useful to hear the cycle of how you use it because I'm just learning. I was like, do I take it all the time? And then I heard you take it 1 month at a time. So seasonal sounds just about right from the way I feel about it. So what I wanted to add is that um, from my Chinese medicine understanding of the combination of these herbs, like a lot of tonics will be warming and heating. And so it's you always have to balance the hot and the cold, but the American ginseng is cooling, just mildly cooling. And unlike Chinese ginseng, which is warm, and Korean ginseng, which is really hot, and people with hypertension have to watch out, like elders with high blood pressure have to watch out. But American ginseng is such a great choice because it is acceptable for everybody, even the elders with hypertension and people who have a weak disposition. And so, again, just looking at David's formulas, I just love the thought that I can see having gone into the balance of it. So there's these warm, strengthening things, and there's this nice, mildly cooling, but very nicely, gently strengthening American ginseng. And so I just love the balance of it. So I just wanted to appreciate that. And so people who have heard, oh, you have to be careful with ginseng, in this case, we're all right.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming back on and sharing your expertise with us. I always really appreciate everything that you have to share.
Oh, thank you.
And so I also want to share a story. So I have been using Be Energetic for quite some time. When I first started Purium 9 years ago, I actually had 5 kids in 4 different schools and a brand new baby. So my life was crazy stressful. First thing in the morning, I'd wake up, be trying to get the kids breakfast and get them out the door. And with 5 kids in 4 different schools, and they all had school that started within 15 minutes of each other, and the schools were more than 15 minutes apart. So don't ask me how I did it because I don't know how I figured it out, but I managed to, you know, get them all to school. Some of them would be early, usually one of them would be a little bit late, and we would get there. But my morning routine was crazy stressful, and I would literally live off coffee until noon. So my adrenals were burnt out, and I was really just barely making it through the day. Usually by noon, I really just wanted to go to bed, but I still had to keep up with all the chores, and then the kids would start trickling back in, right? I have to go pick up the kids. And then it'd be like the afternoon routine with sports and all the things, you know, homework. And my life was really stressful. And then I learned about Be Energetics, and I didn't start it till a few months into my journey with Purium. But once I started it, I really realized that it helped me to have a more level playing field. It helped me have energy first thing in the morning. I was taking my Be Energetics with my aminos in the morning, and that really helped me to do something for myself first. Because we talk about all the time how you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So I was really filling my own cup first thing in the morning by giving myself something so that I could take care of my loved ones. And it was helping me maintain a more level-headed approach as opposed to being stressed and overwhelmed and having my cup of coffee, which was like stimulating me, but not in the right ways. And then having that caffeine crash right when I really needed to have more energy to keep up with the rest of my day. And so it really helped me to transition away from coffee and to have something that could really help balance my energy levels and help me to not feel stressed and to help me to just, okay, here's the next step. Like we do this every day. There's no point in being stressed about it. It's just what we have to do. And so that really helped me initially as I joined into this lifestyle program. And more recently, my 15-year-old is in football. And so he is in high sports. They practice for anywhere from 3 to 4 hours every afternoon after school and have games on the weekends right now. And so it's a lot of energy that he's expending. And he takes the Be Energetics every day. He actually takes it in the morning before school. And that's been really helpful for him over the past few weeks as we're going into playing season. They were practicing for a few months. Now they're playing games, which can be really stressful for young athletes. Like Sherry mentioned with her son, they get stressed out about all the things that are, thrown at them throughout the situation and everything that they're learning. And they're just trying to keep up with their peers and they want to be the best for the team, right? That they're in a team sport and they really want to be one of the best players because who doesn't, right? When you're in a team sport, you want to keep up with everybody else. You don't want to be the one that's pulling or holding the team back. And so it's really important for our young athletes or for any athlete to also incorporate this into their daily life to help support their adrenals, to help support their stress levels, and to just help energize them in a natural way with plant-based solutions. So I'm really grateful that we have what we have here at Purium that is not only good for us, but it's also good for our children. I can give my children most of what Purium offers. There's a few things that I don't give my children, but for the most part, they can have everything that we have because everything here is food-based. It's all made with plants, seeds, barks, leaves, all the things that are coming from plants that are food. And so if we can give it to ourselves, most of the time we can give it to our children. And of course, as moms and as caregivers, we can always make that decisive decision. But I love that I can support my son in this way. And he's been really sharing that he can see a difference. He was actually yesterday before I took him, right now we're on fall break. And so he's not at school currently, but he still has practices for 4 hours every afternoon. And I was between meetings and I walked upstairs into the kitchen and he was, getting his things. He was getting his aminos and his Be Energetics and all his stuff before he went to his practice. Everything that he didn't do first thing in the morning. I was like, I thought you already did this morning. He's like, no, mom, I just took my aminos and my joint flex and my Revitalized this morning, but I still need to take my Be Energetics. And then after the game, he was actually back there at our cabinet, and then he was taking the Super Xanthan and the Super Life formula and some apothecary for his post-workout recovery. So I love that this is something that we can also instill in our kids and into anybody in our family and really help support them in knowing what's good for their bodies so that they can reach for it when they need it. So Unity, did you have anything else that you wanted to share? I see that you came back on camera for a minute. Just want to check back in. Oh, she may have dropped off. So with that, I'm super grateful for each and every one of you coming here. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Sherry to do our call to action for this week. And we really have some incredible things that are in the news that she shared in the news earlier, and how we want to help you move this movement forward with some additional things that have been at the front of what we've been looking into. So Sherry, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Naeva. Thank you so much for all of that incredible information. And like Naeva said, we're constantly learning more about these superfoods. Like Naeva's been with Purium for 9 years now. I've been with Purium for 2.5. I'm a holistic nutrition and health coach. So, I know, nutrition and why it's so important. And yet I'm constantly learning. And between Dave's calls and then our Million Mom Movement calls, the amount of information is just amazing. And this is really the way that we start to educate, right? And by sharing, we've just got to share. We've got to share this knowledge. It's so important because if it's helped you, guaranteed there's somebody else out there who could be helped as well. So today, for today's call to action, I'm actually going to bring you to my Instagram page because, so I recently heard through the Instagram grapevine, if you will, that at the moment, Instagram is really favoring carousel posts over other types of posts. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but either way, it's great to have a couple of carousel posts to balance out your reels and stagnant posts that you put out on social media. And for those of you who don't know what a carousel post is, I did one today, so I'm going to click on it here. So a carousel post is essentially several pages in one, right? And you can have a mix of videos and stagnant posts blended together, or you could just do one or the other. So today I posted about adrenal fatigue, and that's essentially what we're asking all of you to do. So we're asking you to share a post, a carousel post, of something that you learned here today, okay? Some of the information that perhaps you already knew, but you think is really important that we share. And we, of course, would love for you to not only tag us in your post, but also tag the people who come to mind, who you think are either perhaps dealing with adrenal fatigue, or maybe you suspect that they are, or maybe they've shared with you the fact that they're feeling stressed or exhausted, or you just know that they run busy lives, which, I mean, when we put it that way, isn't that pretty much everybody that we know? So go ahead and tag us, but also tag other people that you think could benefit from your post. Yeah, and I mean, and of course, in addition to that, I just want to also put that it's always important to share this information and also to share our YouTube page. So I think that is in our permanent call to action, because we really want people to know that all of these calls are always recorded and can always be found on our YouTube page. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube page. And also you can share that YouTube page with everybody that you know. And all of our past calls are there. Back to you, Naiva.
Thank you so much. And carousel posts are so fun because they're actually trending on social media. And so it's a really great way to create interest, and you can put so much information in there. You can really make them so much fun. And so if you haven't been on Canva before, then go on Canva. They actually provide sample carousel posts for you, and you can go ahead and just create a fun carousel post. Find one that you like. You can change the colors if you have colors that are your brand colors. You can brand it to you, and you can have so much fun creating these. And it's a really great way to get additional information out. And like Sherry said, it can be a combination of videos and images. So if you do want to talk about it or share some of your own story, you could also pre-record a short little clip, and you could add it as one of your carousels. So, just have fun with it. And we really just want to encourage you to share this information far and wide with your community. And so I'm going to see once again if I can, Unity, will you raise your hand? I'm going to have her read our pledge today so that we can, let's see. There you are. I see you now. Let me unmute you, and I will share my screen so that you can read the pledge with us today. Can you see it? Did it share the right page?
Okay, yeah, we hit that button at the same time. There we go. All right. Okay, Million Mom Movement Pledge. I pledge to defend the health of myself and my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement.
Thank you so much, Unity. Really appreciate it. And this pledge is something that you can share with your community. So if you want to take a little screenshot, or if you're doing Widen Your Reach, you can do a little video capture for your Widen Your Reach, put it in your stories. This is our pledge, and we would love to just encourage you. You can print it out, you can find it on our website, and you can put it on your fridge, or you can use it to share with other moms in your community of something that you're passionate about. So please use this pledge in your everyday life to inspire others in your community of what we are really proud of here at the Million Mom Movement. And I'll go ahead and share another screen with you all so that you can like, follow, and subscribe to our different channels. We would love to continue to grow our movement here at the Million Mom Movement. The MOM is an acronym for the movement of many, because we want to be inclusive of everybody. We're all humans here on this planet. We all care deeply about our health and the health of our community and our future generations. So we would love to invite you to like our Facebook page, Million Mom Movement, and join our Facebook group, which is Million Mom Movement Official. And that's where the replay is posted with all of the links that we shared today. So if you want to have access to all of the links that we share weekly when we post the replay, then join our group, because that's where all the resources are provided for you to have easy access to it. So you can read those articles yourself, you can share them with your community, or you can just have access to all of our resources that way. And that's really our community group. We also want to invite you to post your stories in there, share things that you know. If you see things that align with what our pledge is and what our movement is, share them into that group. And that way we can all, build that group together, because it's our community group for everyone to just be a part of. And each and every one of you here is a part of the Million Mom Movement. So next, I'd love to invite you to follow us on Instagram. And if you use Instagram and you post, please use our hashtags. That way we can find you and we can repost you on our channel. And if you're talking about your community, if you're talking about health, if you're talking about, supporting the children or supporting your community and health and wealth, then these are all things that we want to share, including if you're sharing recipes of things that you're making with Purium, or your kids having green drinks, or, people in your community, you sharing it. Right now, Purium has a promotion with the hashtag PHP Get Together. That's our current hashtag that you can use when you're with others creating superfood recipes, or just getting together with them to share about this opportunity. And by using that, you can have access to possibly winning, I think, one of our blenders. And so that's a really great hashtag to take advantage of right now, including our Million Mom Movement hashtags. And next, you can follow us on Twitter, which is now X. I need to fix this graph. And everything that's posted to Instagram also goes to X and to our Facebook page. So it just cross promotes from all of our channels. And then please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's where the replay will be posted in just a couple hours. And you can have access to all of our past replays. We have over 235 replays currently on our YouTube channel. So we'd love to invite you to go there. If ever you're looking for a resource, our YouTube channel has so much available to you. So I use that as a resource often. If somebody has a question about something and I'm not sure where the resource is, I will just go to the YouTube channel and search it in there. And often I will find a resource that we've done in the past that could really help support answering questions. So I thank you all for joining us today. And if you are brand new here today to our Million Mom Movement Fierce Friday, then I would love to invite you to reach back out to the person who invited you here and let them know that you're super inspired by this presentation and you'd like to join our movement, because we are growing this movement of many to 1 million strong. And we are 1,000 people in 100 communities dedicated to helping at least 10 people in our sphere of influence. And by doing so, we are going to reach 1 million strong. So thank you so much for being a part of the Million Mom Movement community. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. And that will conclude our call for now.